Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game on. Get paid. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to do that. We're back with Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, and we're going into Rockstar by Smash Mouth. Alright, no, for real. I mean, we're going into Rockstar in Kirby 64. I thought if I did that joke it would have been a little bit funny, but here we are in this desert area, which I don't really find amusing considering that heat isn't my thing. I'll tell you one thing, when I was in California, I was begging for mercy, that's for sure. But the desert really doesn't seem that bad here in Kirby's land because, of course, it's not much of a big deal once you get the idea of how to handle it. But you gotta be warned here, that cactuses can't come to life in this one. And I'm not just talking about the cactuses as enemies, but the cactuses when you basically have to see in the background. That's the ones you have to watch out for. So, what you want to do here for one of the Crystal Shards actually, you want to grab the stone ability, which I do find a little annoying considering that there's not much to roll around on, and that it makes you move so slowly. That's the one thing that kind of makes things worse. Now then, you really need to keep this ability on you though. I'll show you why as soon as possible. But first, let's go inside this building which looks like a kaboo. Avoid these guys, but come up here. Now you'll know why, cause there's obviously a Crystal Shard hidden up here. And in case you didn't know, as soon as you get to World 2, most of the Crystal Shards are going to be hidden, so you just want to keep your eyes out. Or you basically have to start this game all over again. Now we'll go up here into the boss. I'll do my best to not roll down the hill here, cause we obviously just gotta make sure we take care of this cactus guy. That's how we get our second Crystal Shard. Now go into this room here, and it's gonna be an Indiana Jones style trap, where you gotta avoid all the sand from coming up and trying to kill you. The sand, it doesn't hurt you, but if you go too high with it, you'll just end up hurting your head on these platforms here. That's the one thing you gotta look out. And as more sand keeps rising up, you realize it'll just go faster and faster. So watch yourself as soon as you get to the top. And pretty soon, you will see something happen. If you look up on the ceiling, of course, you'll see a little dent, which Waddle Dee has broken for us. And that could have been us if we waited a little longer. Now, over there, you see a brown and yellow pattern here. Yeah, these Crystal Shards are going to be harder to get, like I said. Reason why, you need to have copy abilities that are color-coded to that pattern. And the way to do that is you gotta come down here and match yourself with this guy, so that way you'll be able to get this power-up, which is kind of like a rocky paddle ball, except you're controlling it with lightning, which I'll show you in just a minute. Like so. So break this here and you'll get the third Crystal Shard. Now we can run away from this level since we are done collecting the shards here. So let's run as fast as we can to make it to the end here. And we'll be able to see if we can be getting another enemy card. And like I said with, cactuses in the background, yeah, watch out for those things. Because they snap harder than piranha plants and those plants from The Legend of Zelda. I forgot what they were. Nippers, I think? Okay, let's try and get this. Oh no. That was too late. Alright, now we go on to the second stage here. I'm gonna hold on to this, because you'll know why in another level. But there is one thing you gotta look out for. These pillars that fall down on you, do not go near them that quickly, otherwise it'll be an instant life loss there. And most likely this level is basically one of those levels that you basically hated as a child. And still hate to this day. Now, just gotta keep going forward, and there's something up top here which you gotta avoid, which I failed to do. So, I'm just gonna try and destroy these guys before I can go on here. And I failed to do that. Alright, let's just do this when we're on the pillars. Or the arches, I think. I think there's one more. Yeah, there is. Let's try and destroy him. Yep, there we go. So yeah, that's the problem with this level. Too many falling pillars and too many falling boulders. Now you'll notice here with the first Crystal Shard, you can't go past this pillar because of 2D nature. So what you want to do is go through this seemingly strong maze, and make sure you get this one up here, and after you're done with that, you can also get that sandwich. So first get the one up, then the sandwich, then you'll be able to advance forward until you're able to get to the last layer here. Down here, you'll be able to get your first Crystal Shard. Now, let's keep going, shall we? Get the cake first, though. And we go inside this ancient ruined building, I think. You'll see these mean ghosts try to bother you, but if you're not careful, they can make you fall to your death. At the wrong time, too. And you still need to fall down here just to get that Crystal Shard like I just got. And let me see if I can be able to get that maximum tomato. Now, going into the next room, we'll just find some fish here, swimming around in this water and trying to attack you. Now, let's just keep going. But make sure you run fast at this section, because those things can collide with each other, and they'll just send you to your death. Now, also, grab the cake here if you want some health, but make sure you run real fast when you're going up against those things here. Otherwise, you could just hover your way across them. That way, it would seem less likely that you will be able to die. But still, make sure you be careful around the enemies as soon as you float down. Also, you want to make sure that you do have a power-up on you in case that ever happens. Now, I'm not going to go on that platform because it may help me get to the top here, but it can also hurt me. Now, let's go through here. And it looks like we have ourselves a little battleground with this castle, I think. But it's not a castle, but I don't know what it is. Now you keep going forward. You'll end up having to deal with this guy here, which I find cute. And he has an ice ability for no reason. Now, the last part here, you know why King Dedede is important in this gameplay. He can help you smash through walls and stuff. And the way he can interpret that is by helping you get across this seemingly dangerous maze. The problem isn't the maze, the only problem is the enemies here. Because as soon as you're climbing up some ladder or something, the next thing you know, you'll just end up having to be hit and just try all over again. Now, just go through here. No, not that way. I think I have to go down here to get... Yeah, I think I have to go down. So as long as you follow the pattern here, you'll be able to get that last Crystal Shard. Now you just gotta go up this ladder. And be careful here, because those things can shoot fire at you. And I failed to jump. But let's take care of that Gordo. And let's try it again. Nope, jumped too early. I got it this time, I got it. And there we go, we got a third Crystal Shard for this level. We'll go down and finish this one. Yep, it's up here. And that's the end of this section. So now let me try and get that enemy card. And now I feel bad because I made Kirby cry. But I'll make it up to him because we're going into this next level. And the first Crystal Shard is easy as long as you got this rock ability on you. And just in case you didn't know, if you go down a little bit, you'll find a piece of cake. You would need that in case you're in danger. So now let's just keep going here and avoid all this sand. Which is kind of a little confusing how there's sand underground. So the first Crystal Shard is behind the teeth of this skeleton here. And the way to get it is by smashing this golden brownish part of the, the rib cage. And just down here you'll be able to get through and actually grab the shard. And I find that cute knowing that it's in the mouth of this beast here. Though it is disturbing how it got into that beast's mouth. Now let's just keep going here and destroy everything in our path with the paddle ball. Then afterwards, you'll be going down into this quick sand hole, I think. Now, you'll have two paths here. You'll have to go to the path on the left if you want the second Crystal Shard. But first, you'll have to go up to this boss here, which is kind of like this arrowfish. Now, go down here. And you'll end up on the background here, where you'll find the second Crystal Shard. Afterwards, you can move on here. That way, you'll go to the next room. The next room here, it's not pretty exciting at all. But there is a couple of things I would recommend avoiding. The sand whirlpools, and those things that try to leech you like a little shark. Don't grab that fudgesicle unless you need health. And make sure you also be careful of when you're jumping, because it might seem a little tough just to jump during certain objects. Such as this, like so. You gotta time your jumps just right, otherwise you won't be able to make it far. Now that takes care of him, we'll just go down here into this water section. And we'll end up going down into this, underwater section of the room. It's not so hard really, all you just gotta do here is avoid these arrowfish. Then you'll be able to actually go down in here and you'll find the last room where the last shard is at. But take heed though, because this last shard isn't as easy as the last two. since of course you gotta make sure that you know which way you're going. And as you notice the bubbles are getting bigger, that's because some rocks are falling down from above. The best case scenario is just to simply avoid them. I mean, I know they can't hurt you, but you can still lose balance here, and you won't be able to get the last shard that you need. So now let's go down in here, and we'll finish this level off. I think I'm gonna have to... Yeah, I didn't get it. But that's alright, because we're going into this UFO. Now I'm gonna ditch this power-up here, because we need another power-up for another shard. As you notice that big triangle going up, I think it's actually a UFO. And boy, it's a kind of like... Oh! Whoa. I almost died there. Okay. As I was saying, it's basically like a UFO, unless you ever noticed how the pyramids were first built during the old Egyptian years. But it's not quite a UFO. As you go onto this triangle platform, you'll enter it and find that it's booby-trapped, with a bunch of cannons and lasers, not to mention how hard it can be, especially with this scientific music playing in the background. Which I find a little amazing, actually. It's also very intuitive. But still, gotta watch your step here. So, first things first, this first Crystal Shard. It's basically buried in this little section of this room. Platforms will go from left to right. So, what you gotta do here is basically be careful, otherwise these platforms can make you go off to the wall, which can crush you. Now, you got the first Crystal Shard, let's go up here. But before we go on, let's also take this copy ability that we'll need for this next room. Reason why, if you light it up, then Adeline's pictures will show up in color, and you just gotta match the pictures from these slabs. So it's water, sun, and cloud. And that's number 2. Now, number 3, I'm pretty sure it's a boss fight, but I don't really have a good power-up on me, despite the fact this light bulb doesn't even do that much damage. So, I'm just gonna have to ditch it later on. But, also, let's try and at least get to the boss here before we actually end up doing something else. Sorry, my mind is scattered here. I can't even think straight. Now, here's the boss. Don't know what his name is, but it's kind of annoying how its babies can just randomly generate from any certain point. But if you suck him up at the right time, you'll be able to attack him. It only takes 4 hits, so just gotta time it just right. And there you go, that's Crystal Shard number 3. Now, the only Crystal Shard we'll need is from the boss here. But before we go up to the boss, let's climb up this lightning pole here. But don't be too deceived here, because those poles can actually shoot up lightning monsters. Then you'll have to make sure you climb real fast in order to get to the top. And that's 4-2. Or probably level 4 of... No, I'm at 2-4. Alright, now this boss here, I think it's called D3, but I'm pretty sure it's just basically the diamonds. And no, it's not the Steven Universe diamonds, because I'm pretty sure that blue diamond is a little bit more courteous. And also, I don't think there was a red or a green diamond in there, unless you count fusion. So, you don't get to the top yet, where you have to fight them, until you go up this corkscrew thing here, which will allow you to get to the top, I think. I'm not quite sure, actually, on how this, how these things work. But afterwards, you'll get to the third diamond, which will basically be as annoying as the first two. Their attack patterns, they're weird, and if you don't actually concentrate correctly, you won't be able to attack them. So, the best case scenario, you just gotta make sure you time your attacks just right before you actually hurt them. For this attack here, that's basically the most part, so you won't know which diamond you'll end up hitting. You probably won't even hit one at all, depending on when you're positioned and when you fire. But there is a trick here. If you attack a diamond with a certain color, it'll take more damage, like so. So if you just hit them at least 6 times, it'll go down. And I meant to do that, I just needed to get this. Okay, I did not mean to do that though. Alright, so just gotta get a few more hits on them and then they'll be done. So let's hit blue first, then red, and finally green. Then that's D3. There we go, we finished our second world and cue the cutscene. Alright, next stop is Aqua Star, which is more cooler than Desert Star. So basically, an Aqua version of how things should be, and I assume they're much better than how they are before. Not really much to do here, except collect shards, which a few of them are color-coded, of course. Now, best case scenario here is to probably just avoid the inevitable and do your best trying to stay alive here, because you only got like 3 hearts. Alright, so now go down here, you can get a maximum tomato in case you're hungry. But also, there's gonna be a Crystal Shard in the next room, I'm pretty sure. So let's go down here and you'll see what I mean. Just gotta avoid these urchins though. They can be annoying when you're jumping over them. So these bubbles here, they'll just take you to where you gotta go. And make sure you pay close attention here, because this next bubble you'll see a Crystal Shard down there and you want to grab it. So go back up in the bubble again and it'll shoot you down to where you're supposed to be. And that's Crystal Shard number 1. Crystal Shard number 2, it's going to be a boss fight, I'm pretty sure. But first you're going to have to use this, because you're going to need it later on. So first we'll grab Ice, which is my favorite ability. Avoid these holes, by the way, they have frogs on them. If you're not careful, you can get eaten and you can lose life, which is annoying. Now, second thing is, this bomb here, make sure you don't kill it, make sure it doesn't hit you, but you still gotta get this power up. So I'm just gonna shoot it at him, since he's rude. Then you'll get this cute snowman pretty soon, which I'll show you right now. Basically, the snowman, it doesn't really do much for attacks. Unless you bump into an enemy, it'll just basically explode right in front of it. That way, you can get them to be attacked. Only downside is, you can't activate it when you want it to activate. That's the only problem it has. And to be honest, if I'm speaking clearly, that has to be my least favorite ice power. Especially coming from all the other stuff that you'll have to deal with, like that. But it is pretty beneficial, even though here you're just gonna have to hold off and just do the best you can just to defeat this boss. Which is not really so hard, as long as you get what you need. Now Adeline will give us some maximum tomato, which we'll need. Thank you. And we'll be able to go off to the next section. Like I said, snow and bomb is pretty important if you want to snow bomb it. I don't know if I said that like that, but you just avoid those things. Then you'll just go down here and you'll see what I mean. You need them to activate this, which you'll do by going up here and you'll get yourself your 3rd shard. Now we can finish off this level here, which is kind of a little annoying. But let's get rid of this first. And let's get out of here. So, yeah. Let's try and get this mystery card. Too far. Alright. Next level is this stream, I think. Or is it a river? What would you guys call it? A river or a stream? Anyway, we're going here, and if you guys notice, this music sounds the same as the one from Kirby Superstar, as well as the one from Kirby's Dream Land 3. If you're true fans, that is. Now, we'll just go down here, and I'll just grab a piece of cake down here. But also make sure you get this ground, which you'll need later on. Now, going off here, you'll have to get fire as well. But that doesn't come until later on. So, what you want to do is grab this fudgicle, avoid these Gordos, then you'll go down here and you'll be able to follow the current. And make sure you run very fast because the bridge is collapsing. Next thing you want to do is run really fast in order to at least catch up to this penguin. That way you'll be able to get to this fire guy. And you'll be able to use him for this boss here. But it doesn't really matter if you beat this boss or not, just as long as you're able to at least break the, just break the barrier. We're just showing up top here. Now that that's taken care of, we'll just go down here. And we'll be continuing on. So next up, we'll pay a little visit to Wilde here, who's offering us a raft ride. And you might want to notice that how you jump, it's kind of beneficial. Especially with the exclamation points. You gotta make sure that you're able to at least try and grab this shard here, because that's shard number 2. When you do that, you'll basically have to finish the rest of this. Afterwards, a few waterfalls later, that's when the next section will come. And Kirby gets an awesome power-up, by the way. So, keep your toes up. Because I think after this waterfall comes... Yep. So, when you come down here... Oops, sorry. Let's get rid of this. Then you'll basically use this invincibility. But first, let me just grab this cutter ability, because I kind of need it. You'll know why in the future. Alright, we'll keep running and running and running. But don't run for too long, because after the 6th waterfall that you pass, the Crystal Shard will be there. And that's all the shards for this level. So, let's finish it off, and we'll go to the next one. But the next section, it won't be as easy as you think, and if you guys notice, I didn't even get hit by that boar. Which is kind of weird. These falling logs here, they're kind of annoying, but you just gotta make sure not to hit them. They don't kill you or anything, they just basically get you off track or your path. So, let's just try and get... Let's just try and get our way up here without bumping into that many logs. We got ourselves a fudgesicle. Keep going up here. Keep going up. Avoid the flame. And avoid the logs. Then you'll reach this last waterfall here, which is basically how you end off. Now just jump, jump, and jump, and you'll reach the end of the stage. I don't even know if I want that enemy card, to be honest. I feel like I should just grab... I grabbed it anyway, but it doesn't matter. Okay, next stop, the beach. Because who doesn't love the beach? Except when you're in those Rhode Island beaches. You know what I mean? No offense to the people who are watching this and who are from Rhode Island. Now, what you want to do here is nothing special, really. You just gotta make sure that you are able to at least grab the cutter ability. Because you will need it twice for this level. Reason why, you'll understand it, because you're going to need another power-up to fuse it with. Well, 2 power-ups. You're gonna have to use it for 2 fusion power-ups. So, first off, you're gonna need is Bomb, which will be pretty soon, actually. As soon as we reach it, actually. So, avoid these cannons here. They're annoying. Run as fast as you can. And make sure you are still able to get the bomb ability. that kid. Hit him. Then let's continue. Alright, now... pretty sure it's gonna be here soon. Oh, there it is, there it is. But let's go back here, because we still need to hit it. Okay, I bet I can hit it. I bet I can hit it. But first, let's hit this fish. So, giving it enough space so it won't blow up. We just throw it, and we got ourselves the bomb cutter again. And we have our ninja star back. You'll understand why I need this. It's gonna be pretty soon. But first, let's have some fun with it a little bit. And these logs here will just send you up. That way, you'll go into this little geyser here. So go down here, you'll notice this thing is black and green. That's where the first shard is at. Then you'll grab this maximum tomato. Then hit this, that'll send you back up to where you came from. Now, the next thing you'll need is a cutter again, but not with the bomb ability. You'll need it with a different ability. Well, why don't we grab this here urchin and let's see if we can, you know, have fun with it. So, what you need first is gonna have to be ground. Then King DDD will send you flying to another island here. And that's pretty beneficial because that's where we're gonna find our next cutter ability, which we'll need. As long as I can just time it right though. Because these cutter abilities, these are not like those other ones. See, those fish, they're cutter. But the only downside is these logs won't stay long enough for me to hit it. And that's the problem because I wasted my cutter rock ability on that thing. And now I don't have another rock for no reason. And now we won't be able to get to that crystal shard because we need another rock. But that's okay. I can show you why we need it during the end of this level. But first, let's go down here. So hit this guy here. You'll get your second crystal shard. And then you'll go down here. As you notice, the third crystal shard, it's up there. But without this, you won't be able to grab it. So let's continue, actually, and we'll finish this level off. And as soon as we finish it, we'll be able to... Oh, you gotta be kidding me! I almost lost my ability to do a stupid rock. Alright, now we just avoid these logs here and get to this platform. Then you'll have to keep avoiding these logs here so you can get to this other platform. That way you'll drop down here and you can finish the level, I think. Yep, you can. Now, with that being said, I'll just grab that 1-up or that maximum mushroom, tomato, whatever. Doesn't matter, we got it. Like I said, I'm going back for that last shard, which I'll show you. So, yeah, I got a new 1-up, and I got to carve some old friends here, literally. This power-up is beneficial if you want to see Kirby's old friends from Kirby's Dream Land 3, which are Rick, Ku, Kine, Choo-Choo, along with that hamster, and I think his name is Takori, I think. I could be talking about someone else. Let's get rid of this guy, and let's go into this next level here. And I'm getting hit so badly, I can't even express it. So let's just go down here and swallow it, which is also beneficial. And I'm not doing so good with my health here. I am completely stupid. But I think it was worth it because we got ourselves the bomb ability, which we will need. Now, as we go into this ocean here, we'll find some beautiful coral, as well as some nice rocks. No, not rocks. But I think they're actually... I think those are reefs. Now, even though we do have to go progress, I can't actually get my mind off how beautiful this is. If this was ever remade in HD, I bet people would just basically use this as a background for their screensavers. Now going up here, you'll have to see that there's a Crystal Shard up on the top, but the only thing that's blocking your way is the water's current and which way it's going. So you have to go really fast at this section, of course, unless you want to get hit by these things here. Now, like I said, go all the way up to the top, avoid these exploding fish, then you'll get yourself your first shard here. Make sure you don't die. Then the second Crystal Shard will be down here. Follow the path to which you'll take, and then you'll drop down to this certain pole here, which you'll have to grab on and hold, and you'll be able to grab your second shard. So that pole down there, you'll have to grab that. Go down to the bottom here. Then you'll go to the other side. Oh no, no! Okay, so I failed to do that, but I guess I'll have to lose a life in order to get it back. So I feel like I should just hit myself on purpose. I want to hit myself on purpose, but I just really feel upset about all this. So yeah, I'm just gonna die cliche. That music hit me right in the center. Not because of the nostalgia, but how blooming it was. Now let's try this again. Okay, we got the shard. Now we'll just go up. And we'll finish this room here. This time for real. Oh, too bad I can't grab that fudgesicle. Now let's just go up into this room, which is a boss. But it's the most annoying boss here. It's just a fish that doesn't explode, even though it's just basically a useless kind of fish. It doesn't even have a shard on it, you just gotta defeat it in order to progress. But the current here, it takes you nowhere. And even though you can use the urchins here to attack it from the bottom, it still wouldn't be enough. That's the only problem I have with this world. And that's the only thing I have against bosses which are underwater. But the last shard here, it's gonna come by real fast. What you want to do is duck your head into these little craters, and during the fourth crater on the bottom, that's where you'll find your shard. But you also want to be careful not to get hit, because that is gonna stun you. So that one's the third hole, and the next one must be the fourth hole. I couldn't even duck those rocks. And I'm now in a bind. If I die, I die. Yeah, I think I'm dead. Alright, so trying this again. I know I can do this. I just need to make sure that I collected the shard and I don't have to come back for it. I don't know if that's how it's played. If you collect a shard, you don't have to worry about getting it again if you die. Okay, I guess not. So, like I was saying, that's gonna be it for this level here. And as long as I avoid these dumb rocks, we'll finish it off. Now, I think I'm gonna finish it off with... Yeah, I need to finish it off with a 1-up, because that death, that wasn't even fair. Alright, now I'm going into this boss here, and I had to go back and get myself a bomb power-up. But it wasn't worth it, because I had to repeat that level that I played last. And I lost like 3 HP. So this boss is named Acro, which is Orca spelled backwards. How this boss plays, it basically is how you would play it in Jaws or something. But let me tell you something, that this boss isn't as scary as it used to be when I was a child. I mean, of course I was scared of this, but it didn't really seem bothering that much now. Especially now that I don't even have to worry about having these rocks fall on you, or even the other stuff that's gonna happen when Orca or Acro comes for phase 2. So all you really have to do is just stand to one side here and just throw bombs at it from the bottom. Which is pretty useful actually. As long as you're standing in the right position, you'll be able to throw bombs unlimitedly. And you don't even have to worry about it actually attacking you. But you do have to be careful about how it can burp up some bombs of its own. That way it will just get a counteract. But it doesn't matter, because we defeated it, and we got the last shard in the third world. So, cutscene time. That's gonna be it for this video, you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys as we go into Neo Star.